204tutor.com. I'll send you the link when we're done.
All right.
Okay, so here we go. We're with geometry and some questions about geometry. Let's figure them out. So it says use the distance formula to find the length of the segment. Leave the answer in radical form. That means as a square root. Okay. So the distance formula.
Which page are you on?
I'm on the first page.
Oh, okay.
Are you looking at my Zoom? Are you looking at my my Zoom window? I'm sharing my window, right? I'm sharing my screen, right?
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm good.
Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah.
I thought I was. Okay, good. It's hard for me to tell because I'm just looking at it on my iPad. All right. So the distance formula is I don't like to memorize formulas. I like just to understand them. So the formula comes from the fact that you could draw a triangle, a right triangle here.
Okay.
You see that?
Yeah.
And do you remember Pythagorean's theorem? A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
C squared, yeah.
That's all the distance formula is. So kind of just draw your triangle out there, and the distance, I'm going to change this to d squared because that's the distance, right? The distance is that blue line. It's that hypotenuse. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the distance formula, if I took this, how do I get rid of a square? How do I solve this just for d?
You divide it or square root or no
I square root it. So d equals the square root of a squared plus b squared, and a and b are just the side lengths over there.
Yeah.
So what is this distance right here? Well, it's just it's the difference between 5 and -3. So you subtract them. 5 minus a -3 is 8, right?
Uh-huh.
And b, what's the distance here?
That's just 1.
That's just 1. So it's plus 1 squared. So 8 squared is 64. What's 1 squared?
1.
1. So this is the square root of 65. That's your answer.
Okay.
And it says leave it in radical form.
All right.
Do you need number 13 as well? Find the midpoint.
Yeah.
So the midpoint of the segment pictured in problem 12, the midpoint of this right here, there's just a midpoint formula. And the midpoint formula is you're basically just taking, well, you're taking half of A, and that's going to be the midpoint. So that half the distance of A. So remember, A was 4, right? So it's 4 away. So it'd be +1. And you're taking half the distance of B. So B was 1. So half of 1 is 1/2. So 1/2 up from 3 would be 3.5. Okay. So that's the midpoint. It's this point right here is the midpoint. Okay. So that was just explanation, but now let me tell you the formula for it, because it's kind of nice to have the formula for the midpoint. The midpoint formula, you add your x coordinates together.
And then the y's then like divide by 2 or something.
Yeah, and divide by 2. So that actually is a really nice formula to have. You're just adding them, but really that's all you're doing is you're finding you're taking your x coordinates and your y coordinates. So this is -3, 3. That's your coordinates there. And over here it's 5, 4. And you're adding the x's together. So 5 plus a -3. And then add the y's together, 4 plus 7. And then take half of it. So 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 over 2 is 1. Right? And 4 plus 7 is 11. 11 halves is 5.5. Whoops. No, that's not right. I wrote something wrong here. This is not 7. My bad. This is 4 plus, was it 3? 4 plus 3. Yeah, 4 plus 3, which is 7. So 7, you can write 7 halves if you want, or you can write 3.5. Either one.
Okay.
3.5 or 3.5. Either one. They'll accept either answer.
Okay.
You good with improper fractions, 7 halves, converting it to 3.5?
Yeah.
Yep, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm on the next slide now. It says basics of geometry. Solve for x and determine whether the angles are adjacent or non-adjacent. Okay, so given that A and B are complementary, I don't know what the question is. Determine whether the angles are adjacent or non-adjacent. I'm not sure what they mean by that.
I think I just like look at it and see if it's adjacent or not.
Okay, so like these would be called, well, no, adjacent angles. These are adjacent angles because they're right next to each other.
Yeah.
These are adjacent angles because they're next to each other. These ones are not connected, right? The lines aren't connected, so they're not adjacent, right? And these are not connected, so they're not adjacent. I believe that's what they want you to. I believe that's what they're after. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. Solving for x, I can do that. That's no problem. Given A and B are complementary. Well, what does complementary mean?
Does complementary mean that they just have the same angle? Like they
No, complementary means they add to 90.
Okay.
Supplementary means they add to 180.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can tell that these are complementary, right? Because they're sitting next to each other.
Yeah, because it's a 90-degree angle.
Right. And you can tell that these are supplementary because they're adjacent angles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do I do this? Well, this plus this equals 80, basically. So I just write an algebra equation. For 2x plus 3x, sorry, I said 180, equal 90 because they're complementary. And now just solve this with algebra. So algebra says get the x by itself, basically, right? So add the x's together, like terms, and then divide by 90 divided by 5. What's 90 divided by 5?
Like
90 divided by 5
45? Or no, 8.
No, 18. 90 divided by 2 is 45. 90 divided by 5 is 18. Yeah. Got it?
Yeah.
So for C and D, how are the equation? What would I do to set up the equation? For B, yeah.
For B?
For part B, yeah.
You do 2x plus 5x plus 26.
Mm-hmm.
And then how would you take it out? Because there's nothing in front.
Well, equals what? First of all, let's make the equation.
Equals 180.
Right. Now, the parentheses, I don't really even need them, but I just set them up just to be safe. You're right. Since there's nothing in front, do I really even need these parentheses?
No.
I don't. So, but I always set it up like that just to be safe. So I add these together because those are the like terms, right? Yeah. 7x plus 26 equals 180. Now what?
You could minus 26 from both sides.
Good. So 7x equals 154.
Yeah.
Right. And x equals, is it 12, I believe? Is that right? Oh, here, I got a calculator. 154 divided by 7. Can you see my screen still?
Yeah.
Well, not 12, 22. Okay. Yeah, a little early for me. 22. Got it? So how
Yeah.
about letter C? What would you do to set this one up?
Just 2x plus, oh wait, plus, oh yeah, plus 4x plus 12 equals 90.
Good. So 6x, I'm going to do this quicker. 6x equals 12, or 6x plus 12 equals 90. 6x equals 78. X equals 13. Got it. And how about the last one?
2x plus 6x minus 68 equals 180.
Good. So 8x minus 68 equals 180. 8x equals 248. 248 divided by 8. 31. Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next page. Find the volume, or sorry, find the value of m. Is that the one we're working on?
Yeah.
So how would you do that? What would you do to find the value of m?
Could you just go 11m minus 12 equals 23m plus 22 or no?
No, are those equal to each other?
Oh, no.
No. What did I do here? What did I do when I had it here?
Oh, you did. You just
Isn't
had
that
it.
what I have here? Isn't
Oh, yeah,
this
you have
isn't
180.
this a straight line? Yeah. So these are supplementary, right? So 11m minus 12 plus 23m plus 22 equals 180. That's all I have to do.
Okay.
And then solve it. So 34m plus 10 equals 180. 34m equals 170. M equals 170 divided by 34. I don't know if that goes in nicely. Oh, it does. M equals 5. Sometimes it doesn't go into it nicely. It doesn't have to be a whole number answer, but these ones were. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And the last one. All right, so finding the measure, all of these measures. Well, what do we know if this is 30?
Then the other one's congruent.
Then this one has to be 30, right? Because they're vertical angles. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So this is 30, but and what do we just talk about? What do we know about these two angles? What do they have to be?
Oh, equal to 180.
There you go.
Okay.
So this number would have to be, the 4 would have to be what?
150.
Good. And what else, what does 2 have to be?
150 also.
Exactly. And the same thing is true for these other ones here. The same thing is true for these. You know, these two have to be equal to each other. So what do?
You could do 5x plus 5 equals 7x minus 7.
That's right. And that'll help you solve for x, right?
Yeah.
5x plus 5 equals 7x minus 7. So let's solve that. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. I get 2x. I'm going to add 7 to both sides. I get 12. See how I did that? Instead of moving the x's to the left, I wanted to keep them positive. So I moved that to the right, and then I moved that to the left.
Yeah.
So x equals 6. But they don't want us just to find x. They want us to find the measures.
Oh, so now you have to plug x in or 6 in.
You got it. So plugging 6 in here will give you 35. Plugging 6 in here better give us 35, right? Because it's across from it, right?
Uh-huh.
So 42 minus 7 is 35. Plugging in 6 here should give you the same thing as plugging in 6 here. So it's kind of like you're using this to help check your answer. Let me show you a little trick here. On your calculator, you have a calculator like this? Yeah.
Not like that.
Well, I mean, do you have a graphing calculator like a TI-84, TI-80 something?
Maybe. I don't have it right now. I lost it.
Okay. All right. Well, definitely you want to find it, and I'm going to show you a cool little trick. It's using the store button. You see that question mark in the lower left corner?
Yeah, the bottom left.
So right above that, it's the store button. And if you store, I'm going to store 6. So type in 6 and store it, then hit the store button. I'm going to store that for X. So now I type X and I hit enter. Every time I type in X now, it's going to plug 6 in instead. So 2X would be what?
This 12.
Good. Got it. So now all I have to do is type in 18X plus 37 and it plugs it in for me. So that's 145. And now I'm going to plug in the 1 underneath it, 22X plus 13. And what should that give me?
145.
Yep. And it does. By the way, did I even have to plug that in? Really? What could I have done to find that?
You know it's going to be even.
I know. Well, I actually knew that when I did 35. I knew that this had to be supplement.
Oh, yeah. Because it has to equal 182.
Right. But the reason I did that is because I wanted to show you that's actually a way to check your answer. That's a way to check to make sure you did it right. To make sure that these are actually supplementary and these are equal. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. You got any more questions?
Those are the ones I had the most trouble on.
Okay. Do you feel confident with those now?
Yeah, I feel way better.
All right. Do you have another one to post or are you good? You want to?
I could maybe find one.
Okay. I'm on the next page. Go ahead and just post it on there.
Okay. All right, we can do this one.
All right. So notice that it says that they're 24. Sorry, which one? 24 or 25?
24.
Okay, 2 complementary. What does it mean if they're complementary?
That they equal 180. Or no, equal 90.
Good. They add up to 90, right? Their sum is 90. So let's just add them together like we've been doing, right? And that equals 90. And now just add the like terms. Now we have decimals here, but that's nothing really to worry about, right? So 8x plus 5, or sorry, 6x plus 5x is 11x. 4.3 minus 3.4 is 0.9. So divide by 0.9. What's 90 divided by 0.9?
90 divided by 0.9.
You can use your calculator if you want, or you could think of it like this, like I'm doing in my head. I'm thinking of it as 0.9 is 9/10.
Is
So
it
I'm
100?
multiplying by the reciprocal. Yeah. And that 9 will cancel with the 9 and the 90. 90 is 9 times 10, right? That's literally how this is what I think in my head as I see that problem. I just think that all those steps in my head. So 100, and then x equals 100 over 11, which you can just leave it like 100 over 11, or you can punch into your calculator. But if you do that, you might get a decimal approximation.
Point like 0.11.
9.09 repeating, actually. Right?
Oh, I did 1,000. Wait, 11. Oh,
It's not it's not 1,000. It's 100 divided by
0.909009.
9.909. Yep. Good.
Yeah.
And also, let me show you again to reiterate. If I hit the store button now, whoops, if I store that for x and hit enter, now when I punch in that equation at the top, 6x plus 4.3 plus 5x minus 3.4, I should get 90 when I hit enter. And I didn't. Which means something's not right. What did I do wrong?
Which one?
Look, I plugged this in to check my answer, and I didn't get it. I didn't get 90 as my answer. So something I did is not correct. 0.3, 11x 0.3. Let me see. 90 divided by 0.9 is 100. 11 divided. Did I type in 100?
Yeah.
No, 100. 100 divided by 11, right? That's correct. It should have worked. I don't know why this didn't. I did something wrong here. I'm storing that for x, and then I'm typing in 6x plus 4.3 plus 5x minus 3.4. I should be getting.
Well, isn't x like point? Wait, what is like a number that you can't even put in?
Well, no, you can put it into your calculator. Something's not making sense to me, and I'm not sure why. But that again, that shows you why you use this store button to check your answers. This is what you should do. So there's something I'm missing here that I did wrong. 6x plus 5x is 11x. Yes. 4.3 minus 3.4. 4.3 minus 3.4 is 0.9. Oh my gosh. I divided it. That's what. I'm an idiot. Look what I did here. I divided 0.9 instead of subtracting it.
Oh.
Do you see the mistake I made?
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I was doing that too.
That's what again, I don't usually tutor early in the morning, but it's 2 hours earlier here in Phoenix than where you are too. So yeah, that's the reason. But hey, that shows you why you use this. This is why you check your answer with this store button trick, right? So this would be 89.1.
Yeah.
And x equals 89.1 divided by 11 is 8.1. Okay, now let's check it again. So I'm going to store that for x, hit enter, and then I'm going to go up and just grab this and hit enter, and then it should be 90. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hopefully that helped out.
That did help.
I will see you. I don't know if you're planning on coming in person from now on, or if you want to keep doing the online. Either one, I'm totally fine with.
That's my mom.
Yeah. good luck with it, and I'll see you next week. All right.
All right, thank you.
See you, man.
Yeah.